Hello and welcome to Chugging Along with me, Tim.
And me, Sam.
So yes, thank you very much for your comments on our last video about our encounter with one of the most famous boats ever built. We were also surprised to see that the Titanic was built within the dimensions to travel on a narrow canal on the British waterway system, as well as being able to chug across the Atlantic.
If you're new here, we're on a big summer trip from Field to Glengloughlin, and today's video was actually filmed over 3 days on the Grand Union Canal. We'll be going from Long Itchington to Hatton with a stopover in Leamington Spa. We'll also be going up the 21 lock Hatton Flight and also be going over our first ever aqueduct.
And you'll want to stick around to the end of this video to find out all of our statistics, including how long it took us to go up the Hatton Flight. And importantly, we had to do that quite quickly because we had a lunch reservation at the Hatton Arms pub.
So we start in Long Itchington, where we ended the last vlog walking into the village to indulge in the Costa Express. It was a nice sunny morning and there were ducklings.
Chuggles started the day facing forwards. He often doesn't stay in the same position for long though because of engine vibrations.
We enjoyed being on the Grand Union. The canal does go to Birmingham, and we are also going to Birmingham, but we will be turning onto the Stratford Canal at Lapworth. That way we'll be able to go through Bourneville, where we can see and smell the Cadbury's chocolate factory, which will be coming up in future vlogs.
Look at this, something you thought you would never see. It's Sam standing at the tiller and steering Marielle. I thought you did really well. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it, although my toes were quite sore because I had to stand on my toes in order to get a better view while steering. But that being said, I could definitely take over, especially when we're on the straight parts of the canal.
Yeah, you weren't too keen on the corners, were you?
This was our first ever staircase lock, and they can be a bit confusing because, unlike conventional locks, one lock directly empties into another. Luckily, we had an experienced couple who were joining us on this part of the journey, and they were able to help us get through it. You too. Bye.
This is where travelling at slow speeds comes into its own. That house near the lock sold bits and bobs, and the people travelling in the boat next to us bought a carrot, and we bought some eggs. Look how happy Sam was with her purchase there. A fresh fried egg will be the perfect topping for our post-cruise noodles.
Those mounds there are where they are constructing the rail project HS2.
What is wrong with you? Freaks me out.
If any musicians out there want to use that hook for my song Push the Gate, feel free, it's not copyrighted.
We arrived in the town of Royal Leamington Spa and looked for a mooring.
So yeah, this is the water point here. It says it's owned by alumni, and it doesn't matter what way you spin it, the water doesn't come out. We found a good place to moor up, and we had a great weekend in the large town. Here are our Royal Leamington Spa diaries.
This is where we met Jam, Cam and Cam for the first time, and we recorded an interview with them. They were kind enough to share their story of moving back from the Philippines, where they ended up in a situation of buying their narrowboat Badger without viewing it beforehand. They are now our good friends and have their own narrowboat channel, which is growing quickly.
Keep chugging.
It was now time to leave Leamington and to do the short journey to Warwick. We also did our first aqueduct. Well, in fact, we did two. One of them goes over a railway and the other one goes over the River Avon.
We passed another famous boat. Do you recognise this one? Comment below.
When we found our mooring in Warwick, it was quite late, so we had no time to explore the town, which is famous for its castle. We also had to get up early the following morning to tackle the Hatton Flight. It's now your last chance to make that guess for how long it will take us to go up 21 double locks.
We set up at 8 AM because Tim's family had made a reservation at the pub, the Hatton Arms, for noon, hoping that we'd get there in time. It was fully booked, so there was no chance of us changing that time.
Leaving at the time we did worked out extremely well, as one of the only other boats we came across that morning was a family that were also going up at the same time as us. So we had plenty of pairs of hands, which reduced the workload for this mammoth task.
I'll give you a 10 out of 10.
Although Sam did get some valuable minutes at the tiller, she still wasn't keen to steer into the locks, so I was left standing on the box. I did get chatting to the man in the boat next to us, who was actually working on a canal restoration project in Gloucestershire.
You can see here that the locks used to be single, but in the 1930s they were upgraded to double locks. They feel very solidly built, and this 1930 style feels unique. There you can see the Hatton Locks Cafe, a great place to be a gongoozler. It also has a fantastic canal shop. This is one of the most iconic spots at the heart of the British waterway system.
We then got up the final lock, having completed this long task. Sam, you did extremely well, but did we make it in time for lunch? Was it going to be sat on the table going cold? Well, the time was 11:02, meaning that we did it in 3 hours and 2 minutes, so we still had an hour to spare. So well done if you guessed around the 3 hour mark. You got it absolutely correct. Let us know what your guesses were below.
We went to the Hatton Arms pub, which had an amazing view.
It was also the first time I had the chance to see my granny since coming back from China. We had a great time, and she enjoyed seeing Marielle too.
After lunch we shunted the boat down into a better position for solar and rested. Having been with family and friends, both of us steering the boat and making our reservation on time, it was time for a well-earned rest. That ends it for today's cruise, and now over to you, Tim, for those all-important statistics.
Right, yeah, of course. Okay, yes. So over the 3 days we did 13 miles and 32 locks, and that was all in 9.5 hours, thus meaning that our average speed was 1.3 miles an hour, which I think was quite good considering how many locks
Oh, I think it was quite
there
good.
were. Yeah. Our trip average is staying around the same, it's 1.7, and that now means that our trip total miles are 144 over 269. So yeah, we're getting there, we're getting to Wales. Join us next week as we cruise in the West Midlands and also turn on to the Stratford Canal, which we think has a completely unique charm of its own. And also we moor in a modern canal village which was first occupied in 1998, so we look forward to sharing that with you.
As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, and remember, no matter what you do in life, you got to remember to
Keep chugging!